Day 2. I am going to try to keep this one a little bit shorter because I feel like I went a little long with 20 minutes yesterday, but I had a lot to say, shocker. As I was thinking about what I wanted to say today, I was writing out topics, and I think I have some good ones for discussion. But ultimately, I'm just here to share my experience. So that is what I believe will keep me on the path I need to be on, is just, as my teacher Angel would say, be the absolute expert in me and share my experience with you, so you know what another real human being is going through, especially in such a crazy time like this. It's really nice to know we're not alone, I think. So, for me, I'm actually having a really good time, which feels so weird to say in a climate like right now. I suppose being a stay-at-home mom really helped me prep for this, because I am with my kid all of the time, and since I've been working on myself and doing all these activities to design my business and kind of just explore where I want to go with my energy and with my life and talents, and last night it really hit me what my purpose is and what my mission is, what I'm being called to do. I'm not ready to quite announce that yet, because I have to be very, very clear on what my intentions are. And I have some creating to do as far as what it's going to look like. But the thing that was most profound to me was looking back at my life, and especially the last 10 years, and how every experience I've had has led me to this point. Every experience, good or bad, expected or unexpected, created or otherwise, has led me exactly to, sorry, there's a button, has led me here. And I didn't expect that to be the case, and I didn't really believe that that was possible. And let me explain that for a minute. I used to believe that, these things just happen to you. Very rooted in a victim mentality, for sure. These things just happen to you, and they're out of your control, and they really, really suck, and they're just bad. They're just going to be like these little black dots on my timeline, or these very large black dots on my timeline. And the more work that I do and the farther down my path I travel, I realize that they don't stay that way. That blackness kind of dissipates and gets turned into something else. And I think the most profound for me when I was working through some shit earlier was thinking about my medical trauma. And I'm not going to say that I feel healed from that right now. If you don't know me, I was born with a condition called gastroschisis, and the repair resulted in a lot of scar tissue, like a lot of scar tissue in my abdominal cavity, and like my large intestine runs backwards, which is kind of crazy. But it's led me down the path of 3 intestinal blockages. And when I realized this last night. My stomach literally felt like it just flipped in my body, and I felt like woozy and kind of nauseous, and my head was pounding, and it was like, that was not an accident, and I'm seeing the first steps that I've made, the first progress that I've made toward healing from those experiences. The first one was incredibly traumatic. I was medically raped, and it's taking me some time to really come to terms with that, because it's something that I shoved so deep down inside of me. And that's what happens when you do the work. You excavate all of these things, a lot of which are subconscious, and they're leading your life. You're not leading your life, they're leading your life. And so the farther down this path I've gone, the more I realize what is making me the person that I am today. You know, my confidence coach, Erica Kramer, she's the Queen of Confidence on Instagram, and she runs the Confidence Chronicles podcast. She has been through some shit. She has seen some shit. I think we all have. And for me, this medical trauma is a major piece of shit in my timeline. And to see a light at the end of this dark tunnel, to be able to relate those experiences into a birth experience of, I wouldn't say that I've had, that I had a traumatic birth. It, in hindsight, is definitely different than I was imagining, but it wasn't traumatic in the way so many birthing people have experienced. And I never really thought that would help me in my doula business. I thought my medical trauma would hold me back. And I was scared of what it would make me do, or how, if I didn't know this piece of me, and I don't know my triggers, and I don't know, I don't know that experience and what it means for me today, because I just don't like thinking about it. I've been really scared of how I will react in certain situations, and I don't feel that way anymore. And so what I've done is I've been able to take all of that fear, just sheer terror, honestly. One of the things I'm triggered by is IVs, and I shake. I gotta crawl out of my skin. Anxiety, panic, all of these things. Like I'm still reliving it, and it was when I was 19 years old. The really traumatic one, and I think the other two, besides an NG tube being traumatic in and of itself, just kind of built on that. And I have a lot of dismantling yet to do, but what I've been able to do is just like break off a piece of that piece of shit sitting there. And I've just been able to like work it over and turn it in, turn it into something else. Like it's just like a piece of clay. Like, I know it's kind of gross, but like, what is dirt but old animal shit, right? So I've got this chunk of clay now, and I can play with it, and I can mold it, and I can turn it into something really, really beautiful. And so that's kind of where I see myself going next, is taking that experience and transforming it into a way to relate to people who have had birth trauma and are looking for a different experience. I've been able to turn that experience into seeing the whole spectrum, from fearing my body and not trusting it and resisting every little signal it's sending me, to swinging just complete opposite direction, to now I'm really learning to trust my body. I'm learning the language of my body, and no longer seeing my body as the enemy, my conditions as the enemy, my experiences as, you know, this stain on my story. I get to turn that into something really beautiful and powerful, which is connection with other people. Yeah, and that's really profound for me. Like, that just really hits me right in my heart space, because it honestly goes against everything that I believed to be possible for me. My experiences with obstructions, intestinal obstructions, is like such a gorgeous metaphor for working through any obstructions that have come into my life, any challenges, any excuses. And I know that as I continue to walk this path, those experiences are just going to continue to unfold and unravel. And there's just going to be this gorgeous little thing inside. And we've been watching like the Marvel Avenger movies, and I literally just picture it like, you know, one of the Infinity Stones that's just wrapped in this like gorgeous, scary, powerful thing, and you crack it open and it's just like this little powerful, gorgeous gem. I don't plan on using it to, you know, be evil as shit and kill a bunch of people, but I definitely am using it to destroy some shit. My vision is to take on some systems in a way that very few people have been brave enough to do. And I don't think that I could be that leader, that I could even entertain the idea of me doing the work I'm being called to do without these experiences. And I'm really excited to unpack that. And the message I hope that you hear is, no matter what you've been through, there are ways to heal from that. And not only just heal from it. I think before that meant to me like get over it, push through it. That's been a theme all my life. Just keep pushing. It's just super apt that I'm a birth worker now. And I'll tell my story with that, with my birth, at some point. But there are other ways, and the only other tip I have to share right now, because I want to keep this shorter and sweeter than yesterday, is to go find someone who inspires you. Go find a teacher, mentor, personal trainer, energy healer. You know, just go find someone who inspires the shit out of you. And there are no excuses, because so many, those influencers, the ones that you want to be learning from, they are the ones that are innovating. They are the ones that are online doing some really cool shit. And that social media is just this medicine, and right now it is our community. And if you can take this shit experience and turn it into something that's just such a beautiful opportunity, such a beautiful creation and work of art for yourself. And it's okay if you don't know how to do that right now. It's taken me many months of very, very, very hard work, and I am home all the time, so I have more time than most. But you have the time now. You have the time now, and you have every resource available to you. Every resource available to you. And I'm really believing that money, while useful, is no longer the currency. I think that connection, I think that love, I think that learning, I think that inspiration, I think that art is now the currency. for the foreseeable future. So dive into that shit. Dive into that shit pile of a situation that is happening right now and find that gem. Find that beautiful, just gorgeous gift in the middle of all of this. Yeah, and I'm going to keep sharing what I can. I'm going to keep sharing my experience and how I've gotten to where I am, and here pretty soon I will be announcing what my mission is, and I'm so thrilled. I'm literally thriving right now. You know, my teacher, Angel, really quick, she talks about surviving versus thriving. And you would never imagine, most people would never imagine that just sitting there, that in order to thrive, you have to dive into the mountain of shit first. And you sometimes have to revisit that mountain of shit. And that's okay. The shit is part of the experience. If you've ever heard the phrase, like, sometimes you just have to sit in the shit. Like, this is that shit, guys. And it's going to connect us all. And it's going to it's giving us so much empathy for each other. And so many innovative ways of reaching out and being like, hey, I got your back. I got you. Let's get through this. I want to support you. Or I want to learn from you. How can I interact with you right now? Yeah. So that's where I'm at right now. So this is day 2 of my YouTube 7-day, possibly longer daily diary kind of thing. Yeah, watch out for my website, which I have to totally redo because my doula mission has completely changed. Innovation, right? And yeah, I'll be putting my website and my mission out there and ways you can work with me, designing some offerings, and still working on helping my community. So especially if you're local in KC, Kansas City, Missouri, USA, please reach out. Reach out, tell me how I can support you. So I love you guys. I will talk to you tomorrow.